Hello, friends. Welcome back to Stan's Cutlery Universe. And today, this is my 9 p.m. Eastern Time drop for Wednesday, the 13th of August. I'm going to be taking a look at, the Frost Cutlery Longhorn, which is their version of the SodBuster, or at least one of them. It's a pretty cool knife. Wood handle. It's got the bird's eye pivot. Pretty well made. Actually, really well made for what it is, A lot of people don't like frost. Got a lot of grit. Ooh, it is sharp. China surgical steel, regular nail nick. Yeah, got a lot of grit in there. It is right down center. It's actually a really, really nice piece. I thought what I'd do tonight is I'd take some time and we try to get some lube in that pivot and get her cleaned up. I'm going to use my KPL. This is a little bit here that you get ultralight, regular, and heavy. I'm going to start with the ultralight because that'll kind of flush the pivot a little bit. The spring looks pretty good. And all you do is you just put it right in the pivots here. For those of you that's never lubed a traditional, then you just work it. Just continuously work it. And we'll talk a little bit. And oh yeah, definitely getting some crap out of there. Can see it just getting looks almost like a muddy, like tarry, because you get all the stuff out of there, out of the pivot. Wow, there's a lot in there. I might have to put a little bit more. I don't know if you can see that real well. It's almost muddy looking, like I said. Yeah, there's a lot of garbage in there. Put a little bit more in there. And sometimes when you're trying to get, a lot of grit, oh, there you go. Now you can see that. Yeah, that's what's in that pivot. Sometimes when you're trying to clean out, you want to use a lighter oil, lighter lubricant to, flush it basically. If I had a can of air out here, oh my goodness. If I had a can of air out here, I'd use a little bit of air just to kind of help force the stuff through, but I don't. I just wipe it out on a towel I have here. Oh man, we're getting there. And it's just a process, and frost isn't the only ones that'll have stuff in the pivots, it's just it happens, heck, it even happens with some American made ones. I've had a case knife that I've gotten that I had to get stuff out of the pivot because it was really not very friendly. Man, look at that stuff I'm getting out of there. Yeah, that's like, wow. It is getting way better though. Because what I want to have is I want to show you this has some snap because it should. That spring is nice and strong. And it's actually a really nice knife. And well, what's funny is because it's not super easy to find. I ain't gonna say it's hard to find because I'd be lying, but it's not super easy to find. Price ain't much cheaper than a SodBuster. I think it's like $20, 20 to 25. You know, you can buy like a Delrin SodBuster for 40ish. I think the last time I looked at one. Starting to get there. Maybe I'll do a little bit more light oil again. Try to really try the flusher, and then I'll go to some mid-weight oil. Ooh, it's getting better. Then I'll go to some mid-weight oil to actually lubricate it, But yeah, I just wanted to show the knife. I'm not trying to complain about needing to do this. It happens with a lot of knives, especially Chinese-made knives and Pakistani knives. I think it's one of the ways that the manufacturer saves a little bit of money, and also the company buying the knives is not having them clean out all the grit and everything from when they're made, so that they can get the knife cheaper, which gets it cheaper to us. But yeah, you sometimes have to be. Oh, that's getting so much better. You sometimes have to be willing to sit here for a little bit and doing what I'm doing, which is great for the workout. Yeah, it's getting clear. I think I'm going to put some medium weight lube in there to actually, now I want to put it in there to try and actually lube it. I'm going to work a little bit longer, see if I can get a little bit more of the, that's looking pretty good. So now let's see where we're at. You seen how it closed before. I haven't put any medium weight lube in there yet, or normal. A little better. Let's see the opening snap. That's way better. Okay, let's put a little medium weight lube in here, the normal lube I'd use for this, and see where we're at. But like I was saying, this is actually a really, really nice knife. And having to do this doesn't bother me a bit because it's just knife maintenance. And like I said, anybody who has bought any Chinese knives knows that you're going to get some not absolutely perfect, and you're probably going to get some grit in there. So I just put the regular lube in there. Ooh, that's better already. Because now this is to actually lube it, but I still got to work it because there's probably still some grit in there, that lighter weight oil. And you don't want to always do it like down. You want to, do the other part of the action because you want that oil to get in to everything. Sometimes you'll even want to lube the spring here. This spring's pretty clean, so I don't think it's the spring. I think it's all the crap that was in the action because I got just a little bit more out. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that just a nice looking? I think it's a nice looking piece. Very well made. Let's see what how we're setting now. Better. Still not there fully. Way better. Way better. Okay. Opening's way better. Closing's still not perfect. So sometimes you gotta, you gotta just work it in the area where it's just not happy. It might sound stupid, but sometimes that's just where the little bit of lube is or the burr is. And, oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to put any right where the back of the blade touches the spring. That was part of it. That was part of it. But still, work it like this for a little bit. Oh man, still getting some smuts out of there. Not as much as we were. Man, that's sounding so much better. Okay, clean up the smuts. Let's do a test. Let's see where we're at. That's way better. It's better. It's not perfect yet. You can still tell that the it's dirty in there. This might take a little bit of time to get it to where I need it to be, to where I'm happy. But you know what? I strongly believe, by as good as the opening spring is, I strongly believe with a little bit more work, this thing will be fantastic. Get a little bit more lube in here. There we go. And sometimes it's just like I said, it's just a matter of just sitting there. Honestly, if I didn't want to have done this for my video, I probably would have, with this as much grime as in there, I probably would have put it in under the sink with some hot running water and some Dawn to get, oh, that's getting way better, to get some more of the grime out of there, and then probably just put it in mineral oil and let it set overnight. Or maybe not overnight, being wood handle, maybe, a half hour so it gets all the water dispersed out of it. But man, I'm amazed at how much smuts I'm still getting out of there. So yeah, this had a lot of grime still in there. Let's see if she's any better. That's better. This should be better. Okay, that's better. Still not where I want it, but I'm not going to sit here for an hour-long video going, I just wanted to show those of you that don't know how to do this, because not everybody that watches these videos are people that's been in the knife hobby a long time, and there's no dumb questions. If you don't truly know, ask the question. I had a person the other day asked me, how do you close a knife? I thought he was joking at first, so I just went, thanks for watching. Then he questioned again, no, really, how do you close a knife? I have one. I'm trying to figure it out. And it was a modern knife. And I told him how to do it as best as I could figure out how to tell him, and so hopefully that was close. Be careful when you're doing this because the blade gets slippery and it starts moving better, and then all of a sudden you get poked. Surprised that didn't cut me. I just got poked. So yeah, definitely be careful when you're doing this because yeah, I hope everybody's having a good day, has had a good day, because I think even out on the West Coast, it's like 10 o'clock now, since this is, or not 10 o'clock, 6 o'clock, since this is going to be my 9 o'clock drop. It might be a little bit late. That was way better. That's way better. Sometimes, too, this might sound funny. Sometimes, too, you just need to put a little bit of lube in there and just let it be, too. Just set it up overnight, let it set, just let that lube really get in there. And if this doesn't do it better, I might even put it in a sonic bath, just for a few minutes because I don't want to put wood in a sonic bath, for too long. And you just let it go. But yeah, um, Frost's version of the SodBuster, the Longhorn from Frost Cutlery, Frost Eagle brand cutlery, because I always like that eagle, and I like the eagle too. Or is it a falcon? No, flying falcon. It's a good looking brand though. Good looking. Look at that. So yeah, really neat piece. Just gonna take a little bit more putzing around to, get it to the standards that I like it to be at. It's getting better. So I'm not going to bore you all anymore with it, but yeah, pretty much it's a SodBuster, but they call it the Longhorn. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Um, Pretty decent piece of cutlery, actually, in my opinion. Starting to really get some good snap. Just gonna take a little bit. Yeah. So I'm just gonna let it set again. That's the Flying Falcon. This side, I think you can read the numbers better if you're trying to find one. They are out there. Good luck if you want to get one. Like I said, it's not, if you usually find them, it's not too much more money to get a SodBuster. But like me, I like to try different things and check them out. Well, thank you for putting up with me going. I appreciate it. Um, Thanks for watching. Thanks for the friendships. With that being said, live long, prosper, and collect your own way.